You're listening to The American Entrepreneur, your number one source for Marcellus Shale coverage.
A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, I had the city manager, I believe he was city manager, he wasn't the mayor, of Fort Worth, Texas on the show. And I believe the number was 14,000 wells they had drilled underneath the city of Fort Worth. And he claimed that this was the city manager. He claimed they had no problems. Now I know you were just down in Fort Worth. What did you find different than what he just said to me?
I was in Fort Worth and I was in Austin. I was all throughout the Barnett Shale. But I'm telling you, I went down to Austin and talked with Lon Burnham, and he said, "Look, there's no point in us even introducing legislation in Texas. The local government, the state government, is bought by oil and gas. So I don't know who exactly you talked to, but it's very clear that Fort Worth." The government and the mayor's office supports gas drilling. The problem is that the citizens that are all around there are experiencing enormous problems. You have a well pad, you can drive down the road there and see one, every 30 seconds. It is an enormous amount of development. They've documented that it's something like 23% of all the air pollution in Dallas-Fort Worth is a result of the gas drilling. I'm not talking about burning natural gas. I'm talking about the actual drilling. For them to be saying that it's not contaminating, it's again the same kind of denial that the industry is in.
So Ron,
and
it's just an amazing thing, Josh, is that we are again dealing with something that's been around for such a long time, like so many wells across the entire country, generating so much oil and so much natural gas for us, and really creating jobs, supporting jobs, revenue, opportunity, the whole deal, for so many years. And yet, you know what? Before you came along 2 years ago and put the camera on this stuff, there was nothing. No one was saying anything, right? I mean, I guess what you're saying is there were all these problems. There was this pandemic stretching across the entire country.
Well, it's very well
documented.
And yet
no one said a word until you pulled your flip cam up, and then that was it. And then that apparently has shown the spotlight on this whole thing. And now we have to stop oil and gas development in America. That's essentially the proposition we're putting forth.
Gasland is the epitome of a situation that's been happening out west for a very long time. You don't have the same kind of media clout and people dependent on groundwater, people living very close to each other as you do on the east. It's very clear that the threat to the New York City watershed, the threat to Philadelphia's watershed, has shown a light on something that's been contaminating people out west for many, many years. And those people are finally getting a little bit of media attention, which they deserve, and because this industry has decided we're going to go ahead and move into areas that previously there hadn't been oil and gas development, and that there are large numbers of people, millions of people, dependent on water. And that has caused a huge stir. Gasland represents that situation. And I say represents that situation very accurately.
I'm a landowner. I don't have any continuing stake in the industry, and I just think this is a pile of unsupported stories and self-promotion. Sorry, Josh, but it's just not convincing. No data. Your notion of everybody knows just doesn't. You got nothing.
All right, over to you, please, Chris Tucker.
Yeah, listen, I think the situation. I'm a native Pennsylvanian. I care about the state. My family's still back there. They're in the northeast corner. And you look at Pennsylvania over the past 2 years, 80-some thousand jobs being created, $1.8 billion back to landowners, $1.8 billion back to state and local governments at a time when 500,000 people are unemployed and budget deficit's about $5 billion. So it's really helping out at a time when really it's a lot of uncertainty going on. Really, this industry is the only industry creating jobs in that state. The only industry next to the census.
Yeah,
okay?
that I won't disagree with. I won't disagree with that.
Census is over now.
But
okay?
Chris,
the key thing is how do you do it safe?
Chris,
and we've been doing it safe for a long time. It's about we want to be regulated right. We want to be regulated in the most stringent possible way with regulators that know what they're doing.
All right, you've gone past your minute. I have a quick question for you, Chris. Chris.
Yeah.
Can you answer this question? How much money have you made from the oil industry as a result of this? I'm just curious. What are they paying you?
What are they paying me?
They pay per month or under contract? How do you get...
Listen, this is a project of Independent Petroleum Association of America. IPA put this thing together. Small and independent oil companies.
Are they funding your...
communications for the communications for them.
Are they funding your whole company or just you? Or how many people do you have?
Company.
How many people are in your company?
On my team, we have 6-7 people that deal with energy, and specific to this issue, maybe 1 or 2.
Okay, all right. Just curious. And Chris, Josh, you have the last word.
Well, it's very obvious that the facts will stand on their own. People should go to gaslandthemovie.com, and they can see links to 100 websites. If you click on every different state, there are organizations working on this. Every major national environmental organization has a policy on this. It's clear that there's a huge problem, and people should do the research. A good starting point would be gaslandthemovie.com. But I did want to mention that on November 3rd, there is a rally and protest in Pittsburgh, and I will be there, and you can go there, and that would be a great way to actually take a look at what the people in the streets are saying about this issue. November 3rd in Pittsburgh.
All right, thanks, Josh. Mark, thanks so much. Chris, thanks so much. Josh, one thing I'll say in closing is that the American Entrepreneur Radio Show has gone out and at great expense to ourselves. We've come up with a number of experts, Mark Laskow being one of them, and we are going to put on a series of 12 shows starting in late November. There'll be 2-hour shows every Friday, and we're going to look at 12 different topics. Those topics have been looked at by experts, and I think, and our goal is to present, to shine a light on facts, all facts related to this. We just want to get the truth out to everyone.